Well, what's up, guys? Thought I would do another video for you guys this morning. Um, so it's Thursday, the 28th. Let's see. It is the 28th today, right? Yeah, it is the 28th. I'm trying to get my days right, but it is the 28th of December. 28th of no, rather say the 28th of December. 28th of November is what I was trying to say. So I wanted to talk a little bit about, a few things. So first off, I thought I would talk about the Inums, and one thing that I've noticed, I think is quite funny. So, obviously, sometimes I like to read through, the Inums comments and see what people have posted. Sometimes I post, comments myself. Well, I post comments on their blogs every day, actually, to be honest. And one thing I've noticed is that negative comments that are posted on their blogs will always actually get more likes on them than the iFan comments. And I actually think that's quite funny how the negative comments are always getting more likes on them than the troll comments, like the positive comments are, like should I say, from the actual iFan. I imagine that's something that probably does get us and Sarah quite a bit, is knowing that the negative comments that are posted on their blogs always get more likes than the iFan comments. But the iFan, it probably also gets to them as well. I mean, that their comments don't get as many likes as the troll comments do. It probably winds them up it does wind them up, knowing that the troll comments get more likes than their comments do. It's kind of funny to think that, but it is what it is. So that's one thing I've been thinking about, I've just been thinking about the way that, these kids are being exploited, and the fact that, nothing is being done about it, nothing is being done to basically prevent these kids from being exploited. And, it's just sad, because it just feels like people should be doing more to prevent this. It feels like the people that should be doing something to prevent these kids from being exploited and being exploited for money in the way that they are, and not doing what they should be doing. YouTube, I don't understand why they allow it. I think we all know that a lot of these family vlogging channels should have been gotten rid of a very long time ago. It's just sad that these parents are allowed to keep getting away with exploiting it. I just don't understand why they should be allowed to keep getting away with that, because it's not something they should be allowed to keep getting away with. It's something, quite frankly, what these parents are doing should be against the law. And it actually shocks me to think that it's not against the law for them to be exploiting their kids in the way that they are, but quite frankly, it bloody well should be. And I don't have people coming at me saying, oh, the parents are not exploiting their kids, yada, yada, yada. Because at the end of the day, I ain't in the mood for that shit. I ain't in the mood for people to come at me and tell me that these parents are not exploiting their kids, because that's exactly what so many of them fucking are doing, is exploiting their kids for money. And some of them are exploiting their kids for money worse than what others are, to be honest. It's like, it's sad that these parents are getting away with what they do, what they're doing. And they'll keep getting away with what they're doing because nobody gives a shit. Nobody cares enough to actually do what they should be doing and actually putting a stop to this. I'm not saying that, I don't know, I feel sorry for these kids. They don't deserve to be to be being exploited the way they are. At the end of kids, they don't even get a break from the Hammers over Christmas. They're still expected to perform for the Hammers. It's like, you look at the Inum kids, right? I look at the Inums and the Holy Joe Inum kids and the Holy Joe Elite kids. It feels like they don't get a break from the Hammer, because they're basically filmed. Albeit at the moment they're being filmed 7 days a week, and it's like, How's that fair for a child to be being filmed 7 days a week? Like, if they were only being filmed a few days a week, then that's not so much of a problem. But filming your kids 7 days a week, it's just not right, to be honest. It's just not, I feel like that's not fair on them. Because it's like it feels like they're not getting that break from the cameras of being filmed, because they're basically being filmed. Or should I say, they're basically being used for content every single day. That's what their parents are doing. It's just it's just exploiting it and using it into content. And sadly, there are too many idiots out there who can't see that that's what these parents are doing. Who are unable to see that these parents are just exploiting it for money and have been doing that for the past however many years. It does kind of piss me off knowing that there are some people out there who can't see that what these parents are doing is wrong. Can't see that what they're doing, that they shouldn't be allowed to keep doing what they're doing. But they're doing what they're doing because no one gives a shit. There's too many people that are, there's too many people that are too busy defending these family vloggers instead of, condoning what they do. And that's what makes this situation so much worse. It's the fact that there are so many people who are defending these family vloggers and condoning what they do. That's one of those things that will never make sense to me, is how anybody could condone any of these family vloggers or defend any of these family vloggers or condone what they do. Because at the end of the day, quite frankly, nobody should be condoning what they do. Nobody should be defending them and saying that they're not doing anything wrong. Nobody should be saying that, and nobody should be trying to defend them and saying they're not exploiting their kids. Because that's what so many of them are doing. And it's what so many of them have been doing for, a few years now. Without, facing any kind of punishment for that, the way it seems like some people think that it's okay for these parents to be exploiting it is for money. But it's not okay, and it never will be okay for these parents to be exploiting it is for money. And I might happily do videos like this because they need to be done. These sorts of things have to be said. Is people shouldn't be, and I will say, people should not be supporting these family vloggers or condoning what they do. It's just wrong. There's no supporting them, there's no condoning what they do, because so many of the things they do are so badly wrong. Yet they get defended from them every time, and it's like, why? That's one of those things that doesn't particularly make any sense. And I think that, for me, is just a major problem. I really don't know what else to say. I don't know what else I'm supposed to say, to be honest. But I think I've made it very clear that I would never be willing to condone, something like this, or to say that I would never agree with something like this. And obviously, I have my reasons for that. I do have my reasons for not agreeing with what they do or not condoning what they do. Because I'm not prepared to do that. I'm not prepared to defend them or condone what they do. Some people might be willing to do that. Some people might be prepared to, defend these family vloggers and condone, basically every single thing that they do. But I'm not willing to do that. I'm not gonna start. This video isn't specifically aimed at one particular family vlogging channel. It's aimed at all of them. It's aimed. This is the saddest thing about YouTube, is that so there are so many parents that are basically just exploiting their kids. That's all I see. It's for kids. Well, not for kids, but kids that are, whose parents are treating them basically treating them like slaves. Is what they're doing. That's what their parents are doing. That's what these parents are doing. Well, that's what a lot of these parents are doing, is they're basically treating their kids like slaves. Then, if, it's like, I don't see kids. All I see are basically hash house and performing monkeys. That's all I see. Because that's how these parents treating their kids. They're treating their kids like hash house and performing monkeys. And this kind of backs up a lot of what I've said in previous videos. You'll know that I've said in a lot of my previous videos that none of these family vloggers would be where they are now if it wasn't for their kids, and I will always stand by that because we all know it's true. We all know that none of these family vloggers would in fact be where they are now if it wasn't for their kids. We all know that, we all know that, they wouldn't be as successful as they have been without their kids. We all know that the only reason that their vlogs get any views is because the kids are in them. It just has to be said. It's just, I feel like, it's just one of those things that will never, ever make any sense to me, is why these family vloggers, are being allowed to get away with basically exploiting their kids for money, which is what so many of them are doing. And this is the thing, it's not just one channel out there there's not just one channel out there where the parents are exploiting their kids. There's so many of these channels where parents are basically exploiting their kids for money, and it's so obvious. Unfortunately, child exploitation is something that has become quite a huge issue on YouTube. It's an issue that has not been nipped in the bud. It's an issue that's not been, dealt with. It's an issue that, and quite frankly, sadly, it's not something that will ever change. I think we all know that the laws should be changed regarding this. It should be against the law. I will always stand by it. I don't care what anybody says. It should be against the law for these parents to be filming, to be exploiting their kids. The way I see it, it should be against the law for kids to be filmed, for kids to be filmed, to be being filmed for social media when they are not even old enough to, to properly consent to that. The rule should be that kids are not allowed to be filmed for social media until they are actually old enough to fully consent to that. But it's just wrong. I'll always stand by it. It's at such a young age shouldn't have to worry about cameras and being filmed every day. That's not something that any child should have to worry about. They shouldn't have to worry about cameras and being filmed every single day, day in and day out. But sadly it's something that, so many kids have to think about, and it's just wrong. It's just, I'm not trying to cause an argument here. I'm not trying to cause, I know that people come at me and, will say, oh, you're being too harsh, will say that I'm being unfair, and to be honest with you, I don't feel like I am. I feel like someone had to say this. Someone had to make this point. It's a point that, quite frankly, had to be made. And it's a point that I do stand by. And I'll always stand by. It's just not right that these family vloggers are getting away with what they do. They're getting away with basically exploiting it kids. I don't understand why they should be allowed to keep getting away with that. I don't understand why they keep getting away with that. But then how I actually kind of do understand why they keep getting away with that. The reason why they keep getting away with that, the reason why they keep getting away of exploiting their kids and using their kids as content is so many people would defend. When you call them out for exploiting their kids, so many people claim that they're not doing that. And that is what the problem is here, is that so many people are so quick to defend these family vloggers and try to say that they're not exploiting their kids, when actually they are. That's exactly what they are. That's exactly what they are fucking doing. You know, and it's just bullshit. You know, it's those people that are to blame for the fact that these family vloggers are getting away with exploiting their kids. You know, it's the people that are defending them who are the reason that nothing is being done. It's the people that are saying they're doing nothing wrong that are the reason that they're continuing to do what they're doing. They're continuing to exploit their kids because people are enabling them to do that. People are you've got scumbags out there who are enabling these parents to exploit their kids for their own entertainment. That's basically what it is. And you've got people out there who are basically enabling these family vloggers to exploit their kids for money. To basically exploit their kids for their own entertainment. And yeah, people might be happy to enable these family vloggers to do that, but I'm not going to be one of these people that enables these family vloggers to exploit their kids for money every day. I'm not going to be one of these people that stands by and is willing to let that happen, I'm not going to be one of these people that is willing to keep letting these family vloggers getting away with exploiting their kids. Because they shouldn't be allowed, quite frankly, they shouldn't be allowed to keep getting away with exploiting their kids. But they will keep getting away with it because too many people are defending them and saying they're doing fuck all wrong. Which is the biggest load of bullshit I've ever heard. And I honestly don't get how people say that these family vloggers are doing nothing wrong. That shocks me more than anything in the world. It's the fact that people actually have the audacity to try to defend these family vloggers and say, oh, they're not doing anything wrong. When actually they are. And the sooner that, the sooner a lot of these morons out there start seeing that, and start actually seeing them for who these family vloggers for who and what they really, basically for who and what they really are, the better things will be. Quite frankly, a lot of these family, people need to start, waking up and seeing that these family vloggers are not, are not the decent people they're made out to be. Is what I would say. And, it stands to reason. I understand that some of you guys might think that, I'm being too harsh with this, but I honestly don't feel like I am. I mean, how am I being too harsh for saying that these family vloggers should not be allowed to get away to exploit their kids? And yeah, people come at me and say, oh, they're not doing that. I ain't in the mood for people to, to have people coming at me telling me that these parents are not exploiting their kids, because actually they fucking are exploiting their kids. And the more that people defend them for it, the more they'll get away with it. It's about time that the people that should be sitting up and taking notice of things like this start sitting up and taking notice of this. But we need to make them sit up and take notice. We need to make them sit up and realise that child exploitation on social media is in fact a major issue, and is something that needs to be looked at. We need to show them that show these people that there are actually reasons why these parents shouldn't be allowed to keep getting away with what they're doing. We need to show them why. We need to show them reasons. We need to show them these reasons why the laws with regards to this need to be changed. Because we all want the laws changed. But the laws are not going to be changed unless we try to make those people that make that happen sit up and take notice. We need to make those people understand why that needs to happen, why the laws need to be changed. You know, we need to show people why we want the laws changed. You know, it's about time that someone put an end to child exploitation once and for all. You know, these parents should not be allowed to keep getting away with what they do. And I'm not prepared to let that happen. I'm not prepared to allow, these family vloggers to keep getting away with what they're doing every single day. It's just wrong. And that's all I have to say, really. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you very soon for another one. Bye.